Hello and welcome back to another episode of the MindSets podcast, episode 87. Charles, tell me what's up.
We're honing in on the 100, aren't we?
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
What should we do for it?
We've got to have a party. A MindSets party. The Centurion.
I want everybody that is listening right now to come up with a really good idea. And then next episode, we're going to ask you for those ideas.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
And then you're going to tell us.
And then we have some time to organise it.
Exactly. We'll have hopefully enough time for us.
I've already got an idea, but I don't want to say it.
Is it the beer mile?
That's such a good idea. But no, I wasn't thinking that. I thought 100k ski erg.
What, between us or each?
I reckon each. Why not?
Yeah, go on then. So today, we're going to kind of go off some of the news and we'll get to that very quickly. Mm-hmm. But we're going to be talking about Formula One drivers and how they train. We took a week off talking about how people train last week and we got a bit lost.
We did.
So we're back. And this week we're doing something totally different. We haven't really gone down the motorsport route before. So hoping you guys are keen for that. This comes off a bit of success. I might as well go straight into the 2-minute news with this. Yes. Are you ready for that?
Let's go.
Do you want to start us off or should I just carry on with
Just carry it on. I've got the timer rolling.
Okay, so first of all, Kimi Antonelli, he won the Miami Grand Prix this weekend. That's 3 Grand Prix wins in a row for him. That's
crazy.
Bear in mind, this is his second ever season in Formula One, so pretty mad. Another thing that happened, though, was there was a sprint race beforehand. Mm-hmm. So if I go through the full list of results, in the sprint race, which obviously happens first, Lando Norris won, followed by Oscar Piastri. Good weekend for McLaren. They seem to like doing well in Miami.
Yeah.
Then followed by Leclerc. Now, in the actual race, after further loads of qualification, we had, as I said, Antonelli won, Kimi Antonelli, followed by Lando Norris, followed by Oscar Piastri, because that wasn't going to happen. Leclerc was going to finish third again, but he spun, had a bit of an accident, managed to hit a barrier, kind of kept it rolling, but then got overtaken. So Oscar Piastri got on the podium and George Russell managed to sneak his way through for some extra points for Mercedes-Benz as well.
There you go.
AMG, sorry. Over to you.
I've got something to come back on that, but I don't want to take up from the 2-minute news, so we'll sideline. Leinster beat Toulon in the Investec European Champions Cup, and then Bordeaux beat Bath this weekend. So it's going to be a Leinster versus Leicester versus Bordeaux. We got there eventually, final, which is going to be at Bilbao at the end of May, and then Nelly Korda, who we spoke about in last episode, I think, on the ladies PGA. She's won again in Mexico, so she's having a hot season. Yeah, hot streak, which is exciting for her.
One final thing to come into here is that High Rocks Cardiff. It was a great weekend to be called Charlie. If you wanted to look at the pro men's solo winner, that was Charlie Botterill. If you wanted to look at the pro women's solo, that was Charlie Searle. If you then go back to the pro men's doubles, that was Charlie Botterill and Jake Dearden. And then if you look at the women's pro doubles, we had Charlie Searle and Lauren Stockley taking the win there. So pretty good point scoring weekend for those all round.
Doing really well.
Those with BDIs will know that Charlie and Jake need to go and race somewhere else to qualify for the elites next year. Talking of British teams that are qualifying for the elites pretty nicely so far, Ollie Russell and Travis Owls, they won in Warsaw.
Yeah.
And so they've got 105 points from that. And they went over to Lisbon for a business trip and got it done. They're going to Helsinki this weekend to hopefully secure the bag. That's pretty much all news. I think that was actually like 2 seconds inside 2 minutes. So I think we smashed that.
Yeah, we did very well.
Nice. Well, we're going straight into the topic. Those of you that are immediately concerned about where's Grind My Gears gone, don't worry. It's just coming later. We thought we got holding the topic back too far. So we're going to swap it around this time. If you don't like it, let us know. We'll go back to it.
Wait, can we put on pause for a second? Because the thing I wanted to say was, did you see that stat about Aston Martin and their performance over the weekend where across all of qualifying, they didn't go faster than like any of the Formula 2 teams?
No, I didn't see that.
Something like that. I can't remember the actual specifics, but they're so slow that they're being out-qualified by Formula 2 cars.
I also saw something last week. I mean, first of all, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I saw something last week. Aston Martin have been testing a new car.
Like completely new.
It looks like a Formula 1 car, but kind of a bit more boxed.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're testing like a concept Formula 1 car, if they're testing like next season's car, but it was blacked out. It looked unreal.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I don't think it is a genuine Formula 1 car is because it had a V10 engine and everyone in the comments was saying how nice this sounds. Formula 1 should go back to using that. But it was quick.
Yeah.
Like quicker than Formula 1 cars currently winning races. So it's great that they're able to spend some time focusing on that, but I think they've forgotten what they're supposed to be doing.
They've given up this season already.
I'm not surprised. But yeah, so going into today's topic, off the back of Kimi Antonelli's success, a lot more people, again, are taking a bit more of an interest into what on earth goes on in the Formula One world. Drive to Survive, I think it started like 6-7 years ago, which makes me feel quite old.
That's really tough to hear.
Yeah, that brought a whole new wave of people's interest, which is really, really good for the sport. Somehow, my girlfriend now watches Formula One with me.
Crazy.
Weird. But with that, people pay much closer attention to the drivers' lives. Yeah. A lot of the drivers now have YouTube channels. They share more and more about their lives. But what they don't actually tend to share, because no one seems to be that interested, apart from us, is the training plan. Now, unlike previous episodes where we would try and go and get Kimi Antonelli's driving, like what he does in a week, that's not necessarily what we'll be able to give, especially because Kimi is like 12 years old. So like he doesn't really have a well-founded structure routine yet. Obviously, Mercedes are building that around him right now, and he's having great success with whatever they are doing. But their training is broken down very similarly to how like some of the Ironman training we spoke about before is done, in that they've got their gym sessions, that kind of thing, but then they've got cardio, then they've got specific training they need to do to be behind the wheel. So the first one we're going to talk about, which is different from most of the other sports, is neck training. There is a photo, I don't know if you've seen this, of Charles Leclerc going out with his fiance, wife now. Yeah, wife. Married, going out for dinner, and his neck is about as wide as her waist.
God.
Which is actually wild.
Yeah. That's a good looking couple.
Oh, it's a great looking couple. It's a cute as hell dog as well.
Yeah, they've got a nice dog.
I'm not a big fan of small dogs, but
that one's
that's
cute.
A cute dog. Yeah. So neck training has been widely kind of attached to driver training, but I don't think people really understand how important it is. If you want a bit of fun, go and watch a video of someone that hasn't done any driver training sit in with a race driver in one of the like Formula 2, Formula 3 cars. You'll see them go around a turn or even brake, and their head just goes boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
They're
throwing forwards,
stuck to the seat in front of them. And that's when you actually see in the same video, you see the same driver just like sitting like nothing's happening. So in Formula 1 cars, when they go around some of those high speed turns, they're experienced 5 to 6 G.
It's mental.
Which that's 5 to 6 times your body weight is basically how to convert that. And corners aren't necessarily like for a split second. They can go on for like 4 or 5 seconds if you're really pushing through them. So being able to withstand that, it's not even necessarily about like just trying to fight it. It's making sure that your vision can stay completely while you go through it.
I think also like you'll be able to go into far more detail than I will with your engineering background. But imagine when you're going around the corner, the car is literally like on a set of rails, like a train.
That's a quote from Lewis Hamilton. It's on a rail.
Yeah, it's on rails. And so as a result, they can go around so fast because of the downforce that's being created, like the air forcing the car onto. So they go around so fast, and that's what's creating, like a fighter pilot, what's creating the G-force, which they then have to not only think about contending, but also drive a freaking race car at the same time, which is like, it's amazing.
The only way that I can really let anyone who's listening to the podcast right now understand what it feels like, the way that the cars are designed very quickly, if you imagine a plane wing, the wings that you see on the Formula 1 cars are essentially just upside down versions. So if it can take a plane off, it shoves the car down. So that's the down force. However, what you also have underneath the car, and these were banned for a while, but they've come back, is you have a set of air paths and airways under the car, which suck the car down. So then you've got the sucking going on, and
the pushing.
And the pushing. So then that's why there's so much impact when cars are following each other and getting slipstream and that sort of thing. But when you go around the turn, being sucked down is so important. And like you said, it's being on rails. So if you imagine you're on a roller coaster, for those of you that have done stealth at Thorpe Park, you're very fortunate in actual fact that it goes up before it turns left. Because on some of those roller coasters where you weren't expecting it because you're in the dark or something, thinking like there's I can't remember the ride that's in Space Mountain. When you're in Space Mountain in Disneyland, you just suddenly turn, you can't see a thing, and your head whips one side.
It's such a good reference, because I think lots of people will be able to resonate with that, but you get smashed into like what's holding you, like the cage.
And that's the exact same sort of thing.
But a lot less.
Yeah. So when it comes to neck training, a lot of people might think and go back to the classic bodybuilder training that you see where they've got the like weird leather thing they put on their head with a weight plate hanging off it. And they do use that. The difference between a bodybuilder training specific things like their traps that give them more visible size. A Formula One driver has to have strength in every single muscle fiber, essentially, to be able to cope with the change in that force direction as they go round a turn.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's more isometric than in like you're actually holding a static, you're resisting, rather than a bodybuilder who might be doing loads and loads of reps at a lighter load to develop size.
Exactly. So they will actually be using those, like those, I don't even know what they're called, like head wear.
Accessory piece.
Definitely not a form of clothing that you would wear out. But yeah, so they'll put that on and they'll like lie down and they will do like neck lifts, essentially trying to progressively overload the strength with weight plates that are hanging, a bit like a dip belt or a belt. But the other thing that they will do, like you said, is some isometric holds. So one of the best way for people to visualize this, a lot of people listening might have been told to do Copenhagen's, where you lie sideways like a plank, but then you have one of your legs up on a bench, and that's training your adductor muscle in your leg. But they basically do that with their neck. So then their head is on the bench, and then they lie sideways for as long as possible. And then to make it harder, rather than their feet being on the ground, they'll lift their feet up again. So then you've essentially doing a Copenhagen with your neck, which is mad. Crazy, so they'll hold that as long as possible. And then every once in a while, they'll go in for testing with the team, and they will literally have a member of the team foot up on a table, like they're trying to rip the handle off a door, and the other end will be attached to their neck, and they'll see in the chain there'll be like a force measure, and it will say how much force your neck's able to withstand, and it's
amazing. It's really cool.
The next thing which they have to train for similar reasons is their core. So you'll also see online these videos of, I think there's a famous one of Checo Perez where he's holding these two handles in front like he's on a roller coaster, and all of a sudden he has to fight the rotation and do it as quickly as possible, and it changes direction, you've got to fight it. So core is a massive thing, because if you're going to think about, they're in these bucket seats, and as much as you're trying to keep your neck stable for your vision's purpose, if your body starts falling away or stuck to the side of the vehicle, of the cockpit basically, then good luck trying to use your arms to steer.
And also, like, what's your neck attached to?
Exactly.
It's attached to your body. So it's like if you can have stability through the full trunk, you're much more likely to be able to like stay in a stable position when you go around these corners.
Yeah, and so with that, again, it's more isometric holds. There is a degree of like using weights to do stuff, but as I'm sure everybody knows, like you will do things like planks, and it gets to a point where you do it for so long. And I think the world record for a plank, by the way, is like 36 hours, which is insane.
Yeah. I've seen a video of some guy holding it, reading a magazine.
Yeah, but there's no point in fact, there was a guy who planked for the entire length of the 2-hour marathon world record I saw online. He did it there. Silly.
Yeah.
But they're obviously not going to do that, because at a certain point the benefits just aren't theirs. But they will be doing things like planks. They will be mostly doing rotational core activation though, and a lot of it will also be preventative for injury. And you might be thinking like, what goes on there? But in some of the crashes, because of the G-forces that are in the crashes, if they're able to do the reactive core training, if you're thinking like a med ball, you throw it at a wall and catch, that's the sort of thing that they do still have to do. It's great for building strength on impact, but when you're actually thinking about the impact they might have, it's really protective for the body and the spine.
I think it's quite an interesting one. Like they all have like personal trainers who create their programs, and it's very sports specific. It's like you said, it's a lot of neck and core, but also when you think about F1 as a sport, the cars are always being designed to be as light as possible. Yeah. So I think it might have been Lewis Hamilton as well, who said there's almost a limit to how heavy he can be. And all the drivers are tiny, basically. The smaller you are, the better. And you look at Kimi Antonelli, the guy's tiny. He might have a massive neck, but if he's in the gym and he's putting on loads of muscle mass, he's going to make the car slower. So there's like this balance between, I need to be fit, I need to be training, and I need to be healthy, and I need to be strong, but I don't want to be too heavy because it's going to be detrimental to my overall performance as a driver.
That's exactly it. And even to the point where if you didn't know this, most Formula One drivers are actually quite short, because again, just by simply being taller, you weigh more.
Yeah.
So when it comes to their training, like you said, a large amount of it might be body weight training with like pull-ups and that sort of thing, and they are having to build muscle around all of the joints to again be protective, be able to withstand the G-forces through those turns. You can imagine grip strength is actually quite an important thing, because when you're dealing with not even just like having to steer and do that for often 2 to 3 hours, depending on how long the race actually does go on for, or some longer practice sessions, that kind of thing, but the stress, like anybody, you grip tighter, and just being able to deal with that over the period of time. And I've gone go-karting and I get off and I'm like,
and also like the vibrations that you're going through, whether it's the bumps in the road or it's the engine vibration, you're constantly holding on to something that's vibrating. I don't know how much the gear changing is going to affect your grip, but that's another thing to contend with. If we keep it motorsport, but a little bit more grip specific, MotoGP.
yeah,
Imagine cranking on the brakes as hard as you can. Like a lot of the motorcycle riders, they're like, a lot of their training's just grip, and a lot of them will spend time on the rowing machine because one, it's good for fitness, but two, they're constantly gripping. I don't know if this is a rumor, and I might have said it on the podcast before, but there's like a sac which holds fluid in your forearm when you contract, when you grip something, and I think you can have that removed, and a lot of the MotoGP riders have that like surgically removed so they don't get the detrimental impact of gripping the whole time.
That's
but we need to fact check that, because that sounds like something now that I've just made up.
Real fact.
But yeah,
if we fact check that, that's going to be a viral reel,
yeah,
for sure. So if you see this on Instagram before you're listening to this episode,
just post it anyway as rage bait, because it's like so not true whatsoever. But I said it with confidence.
I mean, yeah, it was believable enough. Yeah. I'm now hooked on it. I love
sack.
The arm sack.
It must be.
Other things, I actually remember when Drive to Survive started, one of the first episodes, it was Carlos Sainz in a gym in Cobham, which isn't that far away from here, being trained. And I remember just watching, and like, it was a bit tough to watch because the weights were also quite like, they weren't very high.
Yeah.
But the thing that was really tough about it was it didn't look like he'd done it very often.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is very
Was he new to F1?
He wasn't that, I mean, he definitely wasn't old in F1, but I wouldn't have said he was new per se.
And why was he in Cobham?
So because all of the F1 teams are pretty much based in Milton Keynes, bar Ferrari, who are in Italy, and then you've got McLaren, who are in Woking, which is pretty close to Cobham.
Oh, he was racing for McLaren
at the time. Yeah, he was racing for McLaren. Okay. So it might have not been like the first season. I can't actually remember when he would have been driving for McLaren, but it was around that sort of time. Yeah. It was a pretty normal area for him to be.
There's the comment about all the drivers being short. I want to know how tall Yuki Tsunoda is. I reckon he's tiny, isn't he?
I think he's like 5'4", 5'5".
Yeah, like he's little. But there's also like a Drive to Survive episode where he's doing some training with his trainer, and he just hates it. He's just like a little spoiled kid, isn't he?
If we're being honest, I don't think we spoke about it last week with George Grassley running ridiculously fast times. Just because you're an athlete doesn't mean you love the gym. It's actually quite rare that the athletes love the gym side of it because they'd rather be doing their sport more.
Yeah, I get it.
I think that's the same with those guys, is that like driving on the face of it and definitely in history wasn't a gym-based sport or a strength and conditioning-based sport. So I think some of them have realized they've probably got to do that work. Others of it that have just sort of accepted that from day one and have built it in probably have less of an issue, and therefore probably are some of the more high-level drivers now. You've never seen Max really mention it, but there's plenty of videos of him doing that sort of thing. Lewis is always...
I have to dig out... I must be rage bait, because this was... I put it on my story and made a whole thing about it. Max Verstappen put up a post of him training.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like truly some of the worst movement integrity I've ever seen of any person ever. Like, it doesn't matter he's an F1 driver or an athlete. It must have been rage bait, because the way the guy moves was so... I'll find it, because it's baffling, like truly baffling.
There's two more things that I want to mention that are physical training that they do, that you'll often see Lewis Hamilton out on a run, if anything, basically doing his best Mary McCarthy impression, running with his phone in reverse, explaining what he's doing. Yeah. Top off as well, High Rocks guy. But he does a lot of cardio training, and in actual fact, a lot of the Formula One drivers do a fair bit of like easy running. And you might be thinking, oh, it just keeps them generally fit. The actual reason is they need to lower their heart rate as much as possible, because you can imagine when they're in the car, unlike other endurance events over that scale of time, they're unable to fuel in the same way. They have to hydrate a lot because they lose so much sweat during the race. I wish I had looked at this because it's something I thought of. I don't know if any of them have like carb mix. And if that would make a difference.
Interesting, for sure.
And
they have electrolytes, and especially like at the hotter races, like they always quote somewhere like Malaysia, where it's like humid as well, and it's just hot. The amount of fluid that they're losing. As like, how long's a Grand Prix? Like a couple of hours.
2 to 3 hours.
And they're driving, and it's like concentrating. It's you think about it and you go, oh, they're just driving a car, but that must be hard work. Like when yanking this thing around the track.
If you type in like Formula One driver slow motion, when you see that consistently on some of the road circuits like Monaco, there is less than 1 centimeter between their wheel and the barrier on every corner of a fast lap. That's such high levels of precision and skill that is
that's the other thing I think you overlook. Obviously there's the physical aspects, but you have to concentrate the whole time at such high speeds. Like, it's any lapse of judgment, any lapse of concentrate, bang, you're in the barrier and you're spinning and you're smashing your car up at hundreds of miles an hour. So it's like the stress of the whole thing. If you can't stay calm and you can't keep your heart rate level and low, then you're going to really struggle.
And so when you're in those high stress and you're actually racing, one thing you'll always assume is that the drivers are tactically fighting it out and who can put the car in the best position. But it's also like, if that goes on for 10 laps, which driver can continue doing it physically
for the longest
as well, for the longest? And there will be some drivers that have just got less experience and are less physically trained, and their grip might go for a split second on a turn, which means they actually go deep into the turn and they've opened themselves up and they get overtaken. It's just like, even now I'm saying that and I'm thinking, I've never even thought that when I'm watching someone get overtaken.
Like, what was the reason why? Was it just because the guy behind was better, or was there?
I've always assumed it was just the other car was faster and the other driver was better. But like, their mistakes happen, and you sometimes just go, "Oh, it was a mistake." But the mistake could well have been a physical error, not just a mental misjudgment.
I wonder if it's like, because I always use my own experience playing rugby. When I watch the sport now at the professional level, how fast it is, how physical it is, and you're just like, if I put myself in that situation, I would be battered instantly, and I just couldn't keep up with the speed. I don't know if it's the same thing as you progress playing the sport from when you're younger. When you start karting, it's a certain speed and a certain level, and there's always going to be naturally gifted drivers and people who understand the cornering and have a bit more commitment and a bit less fear. But naturally, as you grow older through the sport and through the ranks, you come up from karting and you go, is it Formula 4 or Formula 3? I don't know the actual sequencing, but then you come up and you drive in Formula 2, and then maybe you're one of the lucky select few who ever get to drive a racing car. You get put in that situation. But like, as you progress through the sport, the speed progresses. Is it just like a natural thing, or do you think you have to learn and develop as you go along, or is it just an intuitive, inherent thing?
So you were close with Formula 4. You just have to add a D on the end because it's Formula Ford. So all of the cars are Fords.
Oh, really? Okay.
But then it goes Formula 3, then Formula 2. And you are right to an extent with, you just naturally progress. And what you actually find out is at the slower speeds, a lot of the drivers are able to handle as well. Something we're going to come to is the Formula 1 simulation things that are available now, where drivers are actually able to train themselves much faster with the reactions than they would necessarily have to or be able to like 20 years ago. But it's definitely like a development thing. And that's why Formula 2 drivers and Formula 3 drivers will get cherry picked out of like the academy process by Formula 1 teams to help them develop into Formula 1. And Kimi Antonelli is a perfect example of that. Super young. I think he did 1 year in Formula 2 before he went into Formula 1. That's like really rare.
Crazy.
And some drivers will win Formula 2 3 years in a row and actually not make the step up to Formula 1 because Formula 1 teams just don't think they've got the speed. And when we say the speed, obviously we're talking about their ability to drive the car fast. And you see as well, like Formula 1 teams will take someone like Liam Lawson, who's this like phenom, he's going to be the next best Red Bull driver, gets to that top level and just can't hack it. Just cannot hack it. And I mean, there's a lot more pressure and life stuff around that, but at the end of the day, just cannot make the jump. The difference being, and there's a really good Top Gear episode where Richard Hammond goes and drives a Formula 1 car. But when he's doing that, first of all, he's really struggling with the head, like not letting it hit the front. But the jump from Formula 3 to Formula 2, he's like, wow, this is fast. Puts it in the Formula 1 and he is like, this is actually terrifying. This isn't actually fun. This is so scary. So yeah, I think there is an element of that when you do take the step up, it's different. The only other thing to say on that note though, and as a caveat, is the car that he was driving at was the Renault Formula One car, which is actually the fastest Formula One car ever.
Fine.
Formula One cars are a touch slower now. And there's various reasons for that, but yeah, there is a level of natural progression, but then there is a big jump still.
I'd be interested also, like, they should do some testing and studies on their brains. Like, are they processing fear, or do they have like this irrational, like, I'm not scared, I'm just driving a car? Whereas like you go that speed, even like at certain speeds you're driving on the motorway and you're like, if you actually take a second to think about what would happen if you did crash, they can't have that hesitation or that thought process. And I had a conversation with my dad, who diehard Formula One fan, had been following it his whole life, and that's how I got into it as well. He made a comment about, must have been Sebastian Vettel, and said something changed when he had kids. And it's like, okay, well now I'm not just driving for me. If I decapitate myself or go into the barrier or like explode in a ball of flames, I'm leaving behind my wife, my kids. It's like there's a little switch that happens in your brain. And Max Verstappen's recently a father as well. Well, recently, the last couple of years. I don't know if something similar will happen with him.
Well, it was
There's
interesting.
Just like extra responsibility.
I think a lot of the drivers grow up and they idolize, Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton now, who's just won countless world championships. But at the end of the day, all they ever want is to be crowned world champion. And like a lot of them, while they are young and on the way up to doing that, that's all they care about.
Yeah.
But then when it happens, and for Max, when he went back to back, I remember him saying in an interview, like, I've been world champion.
When I heard that, I was really surprised, especially from him.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I thought he was so cutthroat and all he cared about was winning. But he's like, actually, there's more to life than to racing F1.
Yeah.
Same with Scotty Scheffler in golf. He was like, actually, there's more to life than playing golf. I might be world number one, but if I can never play golf again, yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world.
This is a bit of a tangent for the conversation, but I do wonder if that's partly to do with the economics of sport now, because I feel like back in the day with like Michael Schumacher, when he's winning countless world championships, is he earning comparatively anywhere close to what the guys that are winning now?
Yeah.
So like,
whereas if you make
you
F1,
still need to
you're
still
set
win.
for life.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
even one season being rubbish.
So all of a sudden, is it like, well, I actually can kind of take my foot off the gas, great pun, but like, I can do that because I want to go and enjoy my life. And yes, Formula One is incredible and I get to see the world, whatever, but I also would like to see the world and be healthy and have nice time with my family and that sort of thing.
You just have to go on any of the F1 drivers' Instagram page, and that's like the ideal life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if they're not driving, they're probably sat on their yacht or in their nice house in Monaco, or you swipe through Instagram, you get, oh, Lewis Hamilton's most expensive properties, and you flick through and he's got like a ranch in Colorado, he's got like a 40 million pound house in Notting Hill, and it's just like, this guy lives the dream. Like he doesn't need to worry about anything. It's like, is there actually that motivation for him to now go and win with Ferrari? Probably not. He's already done it all.
Well, one of the things that's interesting about drivers away from driving lives now, but has changed, is we were talking about, well, this ties quite nicely. We were talking about what they do away and like looking at their lives on social media, but also the income streams. There's now multiple.
Yeah.
Lando Norris is known for being one of the founders of a YouTube channel called Quadrant.
Yeah.
And they're almost like the sidemen in terms of size now. Like their channel must be making millions a year.
Yeah.
And that's relatively passive income. And what he will sometimes do is make an appearance on that. He's also got his own channel.
Streams as well, doesn't he? Racing.
Streams. Yeah. And like will just sit doing essentially racing
training
sims and training.
Yeah, yeah.
And quite a lot of them do it. Like sometimes Max Verstappen will join on stream and get
they'll
involved.
race each other. Yeah, it's good.
That's where it's different. And you kind of got the new school age of driving, because Lewis Hamilton won't do that.
No.
He's not interested.
No.
They have sim time, and this is actually worth mentioning. So in preparation for a race, sometimes, especially with newer drivers, teams will run like a 2-day simulation setup, which could be 450 laps. So like 6 to 8 times race length across a 2-day spell. So like that's not just get used to being in that cockpit. It's learn every centimeter of that course.
Yeah.
So that when we get there, it's just muscle memory. And like that's also what the track walks for. You'll see some of the guys before they get in the car closing their eyes and just like steering, and they're just going through it until it is that muscle memory.
Some of my favorite videos, have you seen when it's like F1 media and they've got a driver at the track and they'll give them headphones, and based off the revving of the engine, they'll go, what track is this? And they can hear how high it's revving down the straight and then into the corner, and they're like, within like a couple of seconds or maybe 1 or 2 turns, they're like, yeah, that's the Cops at Silverstone or whatever. And they're like, how do you know? They're like, yeah, that's flat out at Spa. Like, I know the corners so well, and I know the sound of the engine. That's next level.
The nerdiest thing that I have done within Formula 1. So this might be news to a lot of people. There's a place called Mercedes-Benz World in Surrey. Unreal place to go. It's free to go there. You can walk around, sit in all the Mercedes cars. For a while, I don't think they do this anymore, they would show on a projector the Formula 1 race of the weekend on, and you could come in, watch it for free. Obviously, like me and my dad would go and get lunch and we'd sit there and watch it. It was great.
So good.
But they used to give out like a piece of paper that was a program of the race and like a rundown, everything that was going on with Mercedes. Really cool. And I remember sitting there, and at the time, Formula 1 2011 had just come out on Wii, which was a goated game. It was basically Mario Kart, but Formula 1. And I had played it with my cousin non-stop since it came out. So when I sat down, I saw this piece of paper. I think the race was at Spa in Belgium, but they put, I can't even remember what race they put. At the time, I knew. I just looked at the track for a second. I was like, they've put the wrong track map.
Oh, the
track took it up for them, and I was like, the track map's wrong. And they were like, what's that one then? And I just told them in an instant. And they were like,
I think honestly, like, it must have been 07 season or something on PSP. If you any of the tracks, you know, when they race, I don't know if they still race at Barcelona, but the track in Spain, it's like such an iconic shape. Any of the track maps, I know. Yeah, it's actually crazy.
So cool.
So sad, isn't it?
It's so sad.
So sad.
The final 2 things that I wanted to talk about is kind of attached to that is the reactive training. And I think the simulation stuff and what they were doing even by playing the games is getting the reaction training in driving sense. But then you'll see them doing the thing that I swear they used to do this on a program called the Saturday Show on like CBC, but like the lights on the board. Nice. Anyone that was at High Rocks London and saw the original Source thing, it was like testing your reaction time. How quickly can you get through whatever it is, 50 of the lights?
You sucked, didn't you?
I won the prize, but I didn't win overall, and I was gutted. So
was that you and your story where you're like, test this guy?
Yeah.
Whoever won, test this guy.
It was
get watered down.
It was absurd. But yeah, they'll do some variations of reaction training. Another one that you'll see is holding 2 tennis balls out, and the guy will drop one, and they have to catch one from hands over the top. They quite often do that just in the lead up to a race to kind of in a non-stressful environment start warming up those reflexes.
Or even just like juggling.
Again, like go on YouTube, look up Formula 1 nearest misses, and I have no idea how there aren't so many crashes, but then just go and watch a cockpit view of the start of a race. They won't be going that quick, but how all of those cars get round the corners is mental.
But then so first one, like the reaction time, that has to be inherent. Like your brain just cannot process that fast. So it's like, yes, you can do all the juggling. You can learn how to juggle the tennis ball with your feet and whatever, and you can practice and do all the light games. But when you're going at 100 miles an hour and like something pops, bang, that's just inherent. Like when something falls out of the kitchen cupboard and you go, whoop, and you just catch it and you're like, fuck, am I Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like that. Those reactions, that is so real. You're like, oh my God. So that was the first one, and now I can't remember what the other one was.
God, I'm thinking about so many times in my life where I've been like, Mum, like,
I think
you're aware of who you're dealing with. No one else on this planet caught that.
Oh no, and no one ever watches, do they? No one ever sees it.
The final thing before we wrap this up is heat training, which is something we've spoken about before in other sports. And in a weird way, Formula 1 was a bit ahead of the time on this, because back in old school Formula 1, the drivers basically sat on top of the engines, got really hot in those cockpits. And with newer technology, the race suits that drivers wear are more breathable now because they have to wear them for flame retardation, basically.
Well, they're wearing layers as well. Like there's the flame retardant and then there's the overalls as well. Like there's, even if it's breathable, you're still wearing freaking 2 layers and like sometimes.
And the helmet alone is thick, foamy, so much. So they're dealing with ridiculously high heat, and then when you take them out to Miami or you take them out to, like you said, Baku, some of the far hotter circuits where, and air temperature might be like 33 degrees. Track temperature might be 52 degrees.
I know,
and they're on the track.
You can see like I don't know what that, with the
heat haze.
Yeah, you can see it like rippling off the track. It's just like, it must be horrible.
Just for reference as well, one of the American football games I played in, it was a 33-degree day.
We were on rubber
We were on rubber crumb.
Yeah. I hate that.
I threw a ball to a receiver and he fell over running a route. And when he got up, he just looked at me. He was like, "Bro, I'm done." And I was like, "Are you injured?" He was like, "No, I'm fine." The bottom of his cleats, which were like adhesively glued onto his boot, had come off. He was wearing them like a sock, and the studs were in the ground.
Oh my God.
It was mad.
So like the glue.
Insanely hot. So I can only imagine on an actual black surface how hot that is, and that, you know, comes into effect with a lot of their choices and strategy in racing. But yeah, heat training is massive for them, but not so much so. Yes, there's the physical element, again, keeping their heart rate down in those moments, but also just like maintaining focus is a big one.
I remembered now my other point. So obviously the introduction of, it must have been a couple of years now, where they have the protective cage around the cockpit.
Oh yeah, the halo.
Because some driver, I think the reason they introduced it was, do you see there was a crash and a tire or wheel came off, bounced and hit another driver, and I think unfortunately killed them. So like, obviously they need to introduce something like that for protective measures. But when it's pissing down with rain and they're in the halo, like the halo offers like, it's right in front of your face, man. Like you have to be able to see past it. And I'm sure they're at the point now where naturally they can see past it. But when it's pissing down with rain and you see a cockpit view, you can't see anything. Like maybe sometimes you see the flash of a
but sometimes you don't even see that when they're at a speed and the mist is flying up behind the light. You can't. You
have to be truly tapped to like put your foot flat on the floor there. I was just like, when I see that, that honestly really, really impresses me. I'm out of spite, I'm very jealous of the F1 drivers because they live an amazing life, and I'm like, do you actually have to be that good at driving to be an F1 driver? But
no, because Lance Stroll still is in the, and he's still there somehow.
Put me in a car, I'm like, I don't even know. There's no button to turn it on. Like, what do you do? Like, what do all the fucking buttons do? And then it's like learning what the buttons do with code names, so other teams don't know what you're like.
Strat one.
Push or whatever. And like, you have to. I'd be like looking at the buttons, but you're doing that at freaking 200 miles an hour.
It's like touch diving.
You need to, and like turning dials, and they're telling you different things. Like, even that alone is really impressive. And then put on the fact that it's 1,000,000 degrees in the cockpit, or it's pissing down with rain, or it's a very dangerous sport, but it's a very impressive sport when you actually break it down.
So when you were talking about that, the different elements to a sport, and you have skill-based sports and then non-skill-based sport. I can't remember what the other end is called instead of non-skill-based. Whatever. This one is kind of a bit of is kind of a sleeper on the non-skill training because they have to do so much of that to then actually be able to use their skill on race day, because they actually have to get there first of all. So it is a super impressive sport, and they are very highly talented athletes.
Sport when people go, well, you're just sitting down in a car and you're not, like, it's very physical.
But no, so I mean, that's the race topic. Hopefully you guys found that somewhat interesting. If you would like us to deep dive onto a particular driver and see if we can dig something out, maybe like Lewis Hamilton, if we could find something of Michael Schumacher maybe, or if you'd actually like us to go into finding out about sack removal from the forearm and do something in MotoGP and look at like Valentino Rossi, who's a name that you guys might know. If you don't know, he's got a monster named after him. Then we will just drop it in the comments or reach out to us at MindSets_podcast on all socials. While you're there, drop us a follow, subscribe, like. It's all free. It's literally all free. So thanks.
Special offer.
We're going to move into Grind My Gears.
Let's do it.
We've got some good ones this week, but we will race through them. Shall I start off with a bit of a headliner?
I'll go for it.
This one is come from Jake Dearden.
Really?
Jake Dearden, yeah.
Huge fan of the podcast.
People not getting out of the fast lane even when they're fast. This came because Charlie and Jake were...
You can only say that if you're Jake Dearden.
Literally. So Charlie and Jake were winning and they were leading the race. The guys who came into the wall second behind them, Jake and Charlie had, I think, run past a couple of times during the race, but because they were moving faster than everyone else on the track, bar Jake and Charlie. When they came up behind these guys and were shouting left, they just didn't listen. But then it got to a point where it almost looked like they were doing it intentionally, as like, we're racing you. So like, no.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not really it in this.
But then I go like, how is the fast lane defined? Because isn't it defined as if I'm running faster than a 4 pace?
Yeah.
So then in theory, you can stay in the fast lane, but you still need to be aware of other people.
Yeah.
That's one of my least favorite things when I do a high rocks race, is knowing that there's someone faster than me, or someone who's like Jake or Charlie, who might be racing for a specific time, or their livelihood depends on them doing well.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy who gets in their way. So when we were running around Olympia, it was, I mean, utter carnage. Like, the course is a go-kart track anyway, and it's like there was so many people in mixed doubles.
Yeah. And
we were probably the fastest pair running around at our time. So I'm like, I know we're going to dominate the fast lane. So I'm going around screaming at people. And then I hear, like, close to the end where I'm starting, the wheels are falling off, someone's screaming at me. And I'm like, nah, way. Look around. Jade Skillen just like blasts past me. But also, like, the really annoying thing, when I'm shouting left, I'm doing it like a bit aggressively. She's shouting left, and then as soon as I get out of the way, she's like, thank you. So polite.
This is
made me feel even worse.
Jake and Charlie, I can hear when they're leaving the rock zone, and they're shouting it because they're obviously coming out onto the track.
Yeah.
They're like, left, thank you. Yeah. Like, so polite. And it's like, save your breath.
Yeah. I'm like, but they're advocates for the sport, and people look to them to behave in a certain way, and it's great that they do that. But yeah, it must be really frustrating when you're also used to racing in the elites, where it's like you have the whole course for yourself, and then having to go into, like,
especially Cardiff, like quite a tight course, many corners, lots of people. It wasn't quite a slow one.
Let them get out of the way, man.
Yeah. Your turn.
Mine one is so sad, and we can get through it fast. Board markers that don't work in the gym. Every time I go to write something, draw a nice image for my class on the whiteboard, fucking no ink in it. Throw it in the bin, man. And it's also like, you know, when you give a pen to a toddler and they just slam it into the freaking, like, whatever, the table, or like a piece of paper or board, and it's like flattened. It's just like,
do you want me to piss you off?
Go.
I hate it when people have flattened a board marker.
What?
I agree. No, like when they shoved it in.
Yeah.
But actually doing it,
it's really satisfying.
So satisfying.
If you're
get,
going,
like, the best lines.
So when you get the brand new board marker, this is years of coaching. When you get the brand new board marker, it's very, very fine at the end.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's loads of ink, so it's like, it comes out, it's really nice. But if you're writing on a whiteboard, that's fine. You can't really read it.
Yeah,
so like, you have to squidge it down. But this is just like, So excessive. This is a shout out to the gym owners to buy new pens.
Another one from me is, right, this weekend at Cardiff. And I'm reading the producer's notes here, so don't counsel me for the wording, but clipboard twat and duct tape dickhead. So what they've done at Cardiff this weekend, and they've done this at places before, where they really try and stop people taking photos of people getting their finishers photo.
Really?
So have you
no, I've never seen that, no.
So in some places, as an example, London Olympia, they tried to make it as far away from spectators as possible, so the photos were irrelevant. They forgot the cameras can zoom. When they did it in Manchester previously, they did it, and then they put up a massive Hyrox board so that people that were on the
bridge,
Thunderdome couldn't take pictures of people by looking over. In Cardiff, they built the Thunderdome around the wall balls, and behind the walls was the finish area. There was a small corner of the upper level of the Thunderdome where you would just be able to get photos, but it would be like looking down. Not ideal, but like you could get it. Underneath, they put the Hyrox banners to block it all off. However, if you just went on your tiptoes, you could look through the little gap and you could definitely hold your phone up. So that's what it was like on Wednesday, Thursday, I'm told. When I got there on Friday, they had duct taped all the gaps so you couldn't look through. Which, by the way, is just so sad that you have to do that. When I got there, obviously I'm relatively tall, so I could reach over the whole thing. So I was doing that with my camera. I could hear someone shouting, no. I didn't obviously know it was at me. All of a sudden, comes along with a clipboard and starts hitting people's phones and my camera away. Like, actually, like, the guy was coming along. And the thing was, I then looked over, because I could look over at him, and he was, like, super frustrated. He's just a volunteer. Like, doesn't work for Hyrox, doesn't work for Sportograph. Like, was a volunteer. And I was literally like, Dude, you're literally swatting at people's hands and phones.
Yeah,
like
expensive cameras.
Then duct tape, as the producers said, duct tape dickhead came along and started trying to duct tape from the above level of the Thunderdome down in like strips one at a time. And obviously people were just knocking them away as they gave up. But it was just like...
I understand why they're doing it. But also, I thought you could go into the area where... there's been times where you literally pass your phone to the guy taking the official photo of the finish.
They're definitely not supposed to do that.
And they're like...
But they do. Yeah.
So like, it's irrelevant anyway.
Yeah.
If people don't want to buy the Sportograph photos, it's because the quality is so trash.
Exactly.
Sort that out first, and then you won't have to... It's so dumb, isn't it?
Next one is for you.
Calling a medicine ball a wall ball. So, you know, like
I've seen it the other way around as well. People call a wall ball a medicine ball.
God,
it's really ground your gears. The gears have stopped working.
My brain. No, that doesn't make sense, because you do a wall ball. That's the exercise. You do a wall ball with a medicine ball.
Yeah.
You don't do a medicine ball.
You don't do a medicine ball.
I'm going to get to the final 100 reps of medicine balls.
But you are saying that the thing that you throw at a wall ball target is a medicine ball, not a wall ball.
And the movement is called a wall ball.
Okay.
And the wall ball target, yeah. That's all wall balls. But the thing you use to do a wall ball is a medicine ball. So it's like if you got a barbell to do barbell thrusters, and you called the barbell a thruster.
I didn't think that wall balls, the ball that you the round thing that you throw
is a med ball.
Was a med ball. I thought that was a wall ball, because I thought a med ball was just like a heavier, not a D ball,
like a slam ball,
but like
I think they're all like relatives of a medicine ball. But you said it earlier. You were talking about core training in F1 drivers, and you're like, when you throw a medicine ball at a wall.
Oh yeah, you do that with a wall ball. Yeah.
With a med ball.
I've been walling for years.
Grinding my gears.
Yeah, there we go.
Such a petty one.
Next one, quiet carriage. Got on GWR train to go to Cardiff, and I got on super off peak, as did everyone else in London apparently. And I went to the very front carriage. I was hoping it would at least be a little bit quiet because I had some work to do. But all I'm going to say, it was very obvious these people were going to go to Bristol. That's where they were going.
Yeah.
But they got a speaker out and played the same song 4 times in a row, which was London's Calling, and they were absolutely loving it.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah,
in the quiet carriage,
and it was relentless as well. And I thought they all knew each other. When they got off, they were all like, "Lovely to meet you, mate. Maybe I'll see you out." And I was like, "Fuck off." No. But some of them were being like, "Oh, so what do? You look like an English teacher." And I was like, "I'm the other end of the carriage. I don't want to be hearing this. I have headphones on as well."
I think people sometimes do it on purpose to get in the quiet carriage just to piss people off. But that frustrates me a lot.
It riled me up.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Have you got any others? I've got one more quick one afterwards.
I've got a few actually, but maybe I'll save them for next time. There's one that's like doing the rounds on Instagram at the moment, is the Norwegian 4x4, like the VO2 max training, where it's like 4 minutes on 4 times.
Okay.
And it's just like, people seem to think this is like the most revolutionary style of training. And they're like, oh my God, I'm going to become an amazing athlete because I'm doing this Norwegian 4s. And it's like, oh, look at my VO2. I'm like, this was probably invented in the 90s. And I'm like, you've seen like maybe one fitness influencer do it, or like maybe it was like Christian Blumenfeld or something, or Jakob Ingebrigtsen started doing their 4x4. So like posting about it, and they go, that's revolutionary.
Yeah.
And now everyone's doing it.
But that's the thing, trends go round and round.
It's just annoying.
I'm expecting like 2 years.
Stupid trends.
The JPG lat pull down from COVID's going to come back.
Yeah.
The final one that I've got, we actually spoke about it last week in a way. The new Adidas marathon shoe, because of the reselling that's going on. So they sold out, as you would expect, but they sold out at a price of $500. Immediately them being like 1,500 and upwards is just mad. And you said it last week, but they're pretty much a one-time wear. Yeah.
I'm like, as a sneakerhead, I'm a bit like, no one really bought that to run in.
No.
I thought about buying it because it's like,
it's a shoe.
It's a piece of history.
Yeah.
Like, that is an amazing shoe. And like, that's the shoe that legitimately broke the 2-hour record. Like that's that, and for that purpose, like it's a great shoe. But if you're actually buying it to race in and then running a 5-hour marathon, you're a dickhead.
I also, from an engineering perspective, I think Adidas have smashed it with this shoe because I don't think it's in its final form.
Really?
I think last year they had great success with the carbon rods that went down, and then they've gone away from the rods and they've done a ring. And from all of my engineering understanding in structures and stuff that I did at university, a ring is not that strong. A ring does not give you that much when it's incomplete. So I'm wondering if next year some of the rods or one or two of the rods come down the middle, and all of a sudden you've got the next super shoe, and that's what every other super shoe will look like for years.
I don't know like how far they can push the boundary though, because then to make it race legal, I don't know what the specifications are.
I think the difficult thing for them now is because the first carbon shoes were full plates. Anything less than that is how is it fair that it can't? How is it fair you can have a shoe with nothing in it? How is it fair you can have with more in it?
Yeah.
So if you have in between, it has to be legal.
Yeah. I like the idea of rods and the energy rim.
I think it's quite likely.
Before I am quoted on this, I'd like to do some more research on the history of the carbon plate being introduced into the super shoe, because I think it's, from what I remember and what I've heard, I think it's a really interesting story about Adidas originally had the technology and put all of the time and development into the carbon plated shoe. And then one of their employees snaked them and went to Nike, and Nike produced the first carbon shoe, but it was Adidas or something like that. I don't know, but don't quote me on that. We're going to come back with that and the full story, and it's going to be amazing.
I think the biggest difference that you can probably make if you're listening to this in terms of like footwear is you can go to High Socks.
I knew it.
High Socks, we have proudly partnered with. So High Socks, if you don't know by this point, are grip socks, right? You might be thinking, where on earth do I need grip socks? Well, first of all, if you've got no carpet downstairs, it's quite nice to not slip around. But more importantly, for a performance purpose, we've said it multiple times in previous episodes, but genuinely feeling like you're in contact with your shoe and your foot being one is massive across any sport. You can guess by the first two letters of the name High that they're originally intended to be Hyrox socks. I've still not worn them for a race because we partnered with them and I haven't raced since, which is really bad. But you have.
I've raced twice in them, and both times I've loved them.
Do you train in them as well?
I train pre-race to kind of get a feel for them, but I don't train in them normally, no.
I've started training in them a little bit on leg days even.
Oh, nice.
And even when I'm doing like calf raises, I've always found that my heel slips at the back, and like actually not doing that, it feels like I'm getting more out of it.
Do you know something that I stole off Chris Bumstead? So this is legit.
Oh, yeah.
He trains legs always with his shoes off. And he was saying that, I mean, this is before he had his home gym and all of his equipment was personalized to him. But when you put your feet with socks on some of the leg presses, your feet can slip. So in most gyms, it's just plastic. So if you're wearing no shoes, which is probably bad etiquette in a commercial gym anyway, but whatever.
I did it the other day.
Yeah, then your feet will slip unless you're wearing high socks. But in his actual home gym now, he's had a specific machine made for him which has grip tape on his leg press, so he can still wear socks and he won't slip. But if you can't afford your own home gym,
I'll reach out to him because we can sort him out with some high socks.
Yeah,
but yeah,
much cheaper alternative.
You can save yourself 15%, MindSet 15, all one word, all caps. And that gives us a little bit of love as well, so that we never have to make the subscription button a paid subscription button on YouTube. As a reminder, if you get in now, you'll never have to pay for that. So you could just go hit subscribe, hit like while you're there, share it with your friends, with your family, and then go and follow us on all our socials at MindSets_podcast. We joke about it, but if you haven't done it yet, please, like it means a lot, and we're very, very close to being able to do some very, very cool things, and that might be the difference. You might be the difference maker, so please be that person, be the difference maker. I'm going to make a fool of myself now because I've been told that you've bought the game and it's really hard, so bring it on.
I wasn't intentionally made to be difficult, but just the topic that I had in my head, I was like, this would be really fun, and then I started making it, and I was like, if I was to do this quiz, I would definitely get 0.
Great.
But talking about Hyrox, we need to speak it into reality. Obviously, for us, the season's done. Well, your season never really started.
Yeah.
Our season is done. Next season, speak it into reality. We're going to do the MindSets host race. We're going to race together. And then why don't we do a MindSets listener relay?
Ooh. Yeah.
There you go. So we're going to make it happen if you want to race as part of the MindSets relay team.
Are we going to be competitive and make sure we choose the best?
There'll be an application process.
Okay, there'll be, It will have to be in the comments and you'll have to be subscribed to be considered.
Exactly.
I'm
Get that out there.
I think it's been long overdue that you and I race together. So we will do that. And now that my back's not screwed because I've learned how to sleep,
There you go.
We're good.
Everyone's a winner.
Hit me with this quiz.
I need to turn the laptop screen because I'm scared you're going to cheat.
I can't. You think I can read that?
I can't even read it. So we're all screwed. God, it is small. Okay, so the podcast game theme for today is famous celebrities owning sports teams.
Ooh.
So I'm going to give you a famous celebrity and you're going to have to tell me which sports team that they own. Okay. So we're going to kick it off with probably or hopefully an easy one. God, I can't even pronounce his name. Ryan Reynolds. He owns which UK football team?
He co-owns Wrexham.
With who? Do you know, for an extra point?
Oh, I do. That's really mean.
I didn't even write it down.
So I know he's an actor in It's Only Sunny in Philadelphia. Is that even the name of it? Yeah. No.
Okay, well, I didn't write it down either, so no one's going to know the answer to that.
Okay.
Shame. But you've got 1 point already.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay. Elton John is a former owner of which UK football team? Allegedly, he's been a lifelong supporter. So niche.
Is it like Leicester City?
It's not Leicester City. Do you want another guess? I would call it like a peripheral London team.
Okay.
Very peripheral.
Actually, that should have gone in the news this week, by the way. Tottenham aren't getting relegated.
I know.
Which is
that's good.
That was good stuff. It would have been a bit sad to see a team like that go down.
But also, like, you kind of wanted to see that stadium in the Championship, didn't you?
Yeah. I also think that means that Leicester City might be going down.
Oh, really?
Which is sad because they came up and won it in their first season.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to
Elton John.
Bring
it back.
Fringe London team. Is it like AFC Wimbledon or something?
No, you went the wrong way. Watford.
Oh, the Wolves.
Is it? Are they the Wolves?
Watford Wolves, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm not joking.
It's not the Watford Wolves.
Yeah,
is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to check that.
Okay.
Well, I know they've got like a something on there.
Fact check it now.
I thought...
It's Watford Wolves.
Really?
Yeah. Watford Wolves.
This might be the first time we've ever searched something live.
Watford Wolves.
Nah. I can't read that. It's too small. This is...
Wolves. I mean, it looks like a moose, which is always confusing.
Yeah. But... I've always wondered what that is.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
No, Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yeah, Wolves.
Yeah.
Wolverhampton. No one calls them Wolverhampton because they're the Wolves.
Football club nickname.
They don't have one.
Okay.
I'm glad everyone's sat here listening to this debate.
The Hornets. With a moose on there.
It's a hornet.
What are you on about?
Well, at least it's not a wolf.
Watford's initial nickname was the Brewers, with reference to Benskin's Brewery, which owned... I hate the word brewery. I can't say it. I just dribble.
Do you know, but if you subscribe to the podcast, whether it's on Spotify or on YouTube, we'll have the ability to get someone behind the scenes who can do the...
Yeah, that's actually so true.
The live Googling to put Angus in his place when he's wrong. Next question. Natalie Portman is the co-owner of which women's soccer team? Natalie Portman. This is hard, yeah. Women's soccer team.
She co-owns?
Yeah.
Please tell me it's in... Can you tell me if it's in the UK or not?
No, it's based in LA and it was founded in 2020.
And the tough thing about this is I have to make up a football team name because it might not even be like LA Galaxy Women's.
No, it's not.
So it might be like the LA Stars.
I mean, it actually was a really good guess. Angel City FC.
Okay. Yeah. Something kind of cute, which is a bit cringe that they have to do that for a women's game.
Yeah. American.
Yeah.
David Beckham, this one's easy, surely, owns his own football team.
Inter Miami.
Easy.
Easy.
Michael Jordan is the majority owner of which NBA team? I don't know. Are they NBA? Yeah, they must be.
See, that's actually really annoying because
you want to initially
you want to say it's the Bulls.
Yeah, it's not the
but
Bulls.
it's not the Bulls.
No.
And then I'm like, is it the Lakers?
No. You're making me second guess if they're actually NBA.
Really?
I think they are.
Is it another LA team?
No.
Oh.
It's because it's where he's from. It must be North Carolina. Think of their team.
I can see. No, I'm now thinking of the college team.
Like light blue.
Yeah, that's the college team.
Was at UNC or something. University of North Carolina. No. I think, this is, that must be
Nah, go on.
Charlotte Hornets.
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Charlotte is
that is the NBA team.
There you go. That will be why.
Okay.
Damn. Jay-Z was formerly a minority owner of which NBA team? Jay-Z. I don't know again if this is an association of where he's originally from, but
see, I feel like that could be the Chicago Bulls.
No. Think major city.
New York Knicks.
Good with the New York.
Mets?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mets.
No, Nets. Brooklyn Nets. Yeah.
Oh, Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure New York Mets is also baseball.
Baseball, yeah.
Nice. Cool.
We're getting our American sports. Okay, Matthew McConaughey is a minority owner of which US-based soccer team? Again, this must be an affiliation from where he's from, but again, I don't know the geography of all of these celebrities.
My knowledge of
US
soccer teams so poor. I think I've said the two that I know, and I only know them because David Beckham plays
It's
them.
named after a city. I'll narrow it down. It's a city in Texas, and it's not Dallas.
Houston.
No, it was
Austin.
Yes, Austin FC. You smashed it.
Oh, FC. Yeah. Austin Wolves.
That's all you had to
The Austin Wolves. Yeah. Nice.
The Wolverines or whatever. Okay, let's keep going with the minority shareholders. Will Smith is a minority shareholder in which...
This, by the way, is the hardest quiz I've ever heard in the world.
It's just quite niche. Minority stakeholder in which NBA franchise?
The Boston Celtics.
The Philadelphia 79ers. Or what is it? 76ers.
But the thing is, when they're minority as well, this is like asking what drink they got in a meal deal 2 years ago, because it's like a small little purchase.
Well, if I had left out minority,
yeah.
Magic Johnson is a part owner of which baseball team?
I was hoping you were going to say basketball.
No, this one's easy. If you're going to guess.
New York Yankees.
No. Other coast.
The Reds. No, that's Boston.
It's in there somewhere, I reckon.
Yeah, well, it will be as soon as you say it, I reckon. Nah, go on.
The Dodgers. LA Dodgers. See, I knew it was in there.
I was thinking like it wouldn't be LA. I was thinking it'd be like California or something. LA Dodgers is
This one's so
I
good.
literally saw someone wearing an LA Dodgers cap yesterday.
This one's so good. I don't want to say minority owner, but he is. Justin Timberlake.
Oh my god.
It's a minority owner of which ice hockey team? This is a sick name for a team.
So it's one that I've not heard of. You just said you've never heard of
them. And I was like, why would they have a hockey team? But I guess it's just...
I'm pretty sure there's... Is it LA Kings?
It's not the LA Kings.
Who is it?
The Nashville Predators. That's a
great... So, do you know what? I've really matured in the last few weeks because I would have just thrown a political statement in there, but I'm not going to do that.
You're better than that.
I'm better than that.
You're better than that.
I also don't want to edit it out again.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Lewis Hamilton. He is part of the ownership group. Another way of saying a minority owner.
Yeah.
Of which NFL franchise? Come on. This was the one where I was like...
NFL franchise?
I knew it straight away. I actually knew it. He's always going to games.
Is he?
Always. But I was a bit like, why have you gone with that team? I don't know what his affiliation or association is with them.
So like the Atlanta Falcons.
Nah, less cool.
Less.
I know. I think it's been made more cool because Lewis Hamilton owns it.
Got a weird.
Oh, it's because he's got. I said it earlier. He's got a ranch there.
Oh, the Houston Texans.
Nah,
No.
Colorado.
Oh. Fuck.
Are they orange? Stumbleweed
Is it like
in the podcast.
Denver Broncos?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Broncos.
Weird.
It is weird, isn't it?
Why is it? Yeah, that's so bizarre.
All right, last one. You'll be
Okay.
glad to know. Serena Williams.
It's literally there was two. There was when you started this quiz, I was like, "There's two that I know are coming up, and I'm so ready for them, and neither has come up." I'm going to ask you them.
Okay, is an investor in which NFL team? She's also an investor in the Angels with Natalie Portman.
Is it the Seattle Seahawks?
No,
Okay. Is it San Diego? No,
other coast.
other coast as well.
I think they drafted Quinn Ewers this last year in the
Ewers?
draft. Ewers. What's he called? Ewers.
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 I didn't actually pay much attention to the draft this year. I was
Last
surprised
year,
when you
last
were
year,
into
last
the
year.
years. Is it like, was it the New York Jets?
Dolphins.
I was going to say Dolphins first.
The
but I was
Miami
like,
Dolphins.
Miami.
There you go.
Damn.
You
okay.
got Wrexham
Mm.
and into Miami.
Out of how many?
12.
12.
I thought that's hard.
Crazy. Okay.
The only problem with doing a hard quiz,
Okay.
I had to preface it because I was like, I didn't want it to be that difficult.
Let me give you two easy ones.
But don't come back at me next week with a hard quiz.
Well, let me give you two easy ones.
Okay.
Tom Brady. Who's he part owner of?
Is it a football team?
It is.
Has he played there?
No.
Oh. Soccer.
Soccer
Soccer.
football. Yeah.
Soccer.
It's in the UK.
No.
Yeah.
You're going to ask me Snoop Dogg next, aren't you?
No.
I should have done Snoop Dogg.
I've forgotten who he part owns. So Brighton or something.
No, it's like Swansea or something.
Oh yeah, maybe. Go on.
Tom Brady owns are they Prem?
No.
I've got no idea.
Birmingham City.
No, it's not.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
That's well weird.
Yeah.
Is that a recent thing?
Like a year and a half ago.
Oh, Snoop Dogg.
The next one, KSI.
He owns a football team.
Yeah. Do you not remember me bringing? I actually announced this on the news.
I remember
I want to get this one right. I think I know it.
the Wolverines.
Yeah, it's not the Wolverines.
Oh, the listeners are hating us right now.
Okay, I was going to say it wrong. Dagenham and Redbridge.
Would not have guessed.
Yeah,
that.
because that's where he started. I think.
He's from Dagenham.
No, so he started playing when he was doing Roots Division 1. He didn't start with Dagenham and Redbridge.
Fine.
He did play.
I remember you saying that.
But it's more like full circle because that's how he started.
Can you quickly Google what club Snoop Dogg is?
Yes, I think you are right in it being Swansea.
Swansea City or something that way.
Football team. Swansea City.
There you go.
The Swans.
That's a weird one to have gone and bought, but not. I don't know if that's more weird.
I think it's clubs reaching out to these
Tom
just to
Brady
get
in
names.
Birmingham.
Like Snoop Dogg and Swansea makes no sense. So it's great news.
But do you think they've gone to Snoop Dogg and been like, "We're one of the best teams in the world," and he's got no idea?
No,
He's like, "Sure, man."
I think he's like, "Are you guys not crap? Cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's run it."
I think, but then also like Tom Brady, like,
Do you guys care if I come watch a game and smoke while I'm there?
Sure.
Let's run it. I reckon. Amazing. Well, that wraps us up with another episode. We haven't actually had many sporting events to like choose an athlete for coming up. So we do have things coming up that we're aware of, like the Tour de France, that sort of thing. So if there's a particular cyclist you want us to look at, then do let us know. If there are any other sporting events or any other athletes in particular that you would love to know, you don't care if they've got anything coming up anytime soon, then do write in, let us know. Pop it in the comments below, whether you are on Spotify or on YouTube. You can leave comments and we will get back to you and include things in the next episode. On that, grind my gears. We need more grind my gears, please, guys. And I know that you guys aren't just having an amazing time now the sun's come out. If anything, you guys are burning and you're going to have things that you want to tell us about. So do get in touch again at MindSets_podcast. Do anything you can to help us grow together. And unless you've got anything else,
I don't think so.
look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode.